Hi, I'm Wendy Burge. Welcome to the Radiant Edge podcast, the podcast for soul-led experts building bold, aligned businesses. I'm here to help you create a business that feels just as good on the inside as it looks on the outside, because you're not here just to sell, you're here to lead movements, shape ideas, and amplify your radiance. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Radiant Edge podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something I believe every woman balancing a lot needs to hear, especially those of us in what's often called the sandwich generation, where you're managing a business, supporting your team, caring for aging parents, raising kids, and somehow still showing up for your clients. It's a lot. And yet, in the middle of it all, there's an incredible opportunity to grow your self-leadership and to create what I call the conditions for success. Not that hustle version, not the do more version, but the kind that keeps you grounded, clear, and capable no matter what's happening around you. You see, over the last season of my life, I've had to step back from my business for a while. If you've been listening to this podcast, you'll know I referenced this back in July. And life demanded my full attention in other ways as I was caring for my mom at the end of her life. During this pause, I realized something deeply important, that self-leadership isn't about holding it all together or powering through. It's about leading yourself through uncertainty with honesty, awareness, and compassion. Today, I want to talk about how to cultivate the mindset and skills of self-leadership, especially when you feel stretched thin or when life asks you to slow down and reassess. Because this, the inner leadership, is what creates your foundations for success. So let's start with this question. What does success really mean for you right now in this season? Maybe a few years ago, success meant scaling your business or hitting a specific revenue milestone. But if you're caring for family or managing a team or rebuilding after a tough chapter, your definition may have shifted. And that's okay. Success isn't a single destination. It's an evolving experience. It's how you feel in your daily life with the freedom, the flow, and the fulfillment. And for me, and so many other women I work with, it is no longer about chasing the external markers. It's about creating the conditions that let you thrive personally, professionally, and energetically. Here's the big idea I want you to take away. Confidence and success come from your ability to identify a clear path forward and to have the resources and the capacity you need at the same time to make it safe to fail, learn, and grow. That's what I mean when we're talking about creating the conditions for success. It's not only about your goals, it's about redesigning the environment and mindset that supports you in reaching them. That might mean setting boundaries around your time. It might mean asking for help instead of doing everything yourself. And it might mean giving yourself permission to redefine what productive looks like this week. So let's talk about the key mindset shift that underpins it all, which is self-leadership. Self-leadership is the art of learning, adapting, and growing in response to your experiences. It's the ability to tap into your own competence, to face your gaps honestly, and to keep showing up with intention. It's not about control, it's about conscious direction. When you practice self-leadership, you start asking better questions, especially when things feel uncertain. And one of the most powerful tools for that comes from Byron Katie's work, a question process that helps you challenge your thoughts and reframe your reality. An important question she asks is it true? When you catch yourself thinking, I'm behind or I'm starting over, pause and ask, is that actually true? Chances are it's not. You're not starting from zero. You've built skills, resilience, and relationships that are still very much alive in you. You just may be in a new season, and that's different from starting over. That's self-leadership, choosing to see what's true, not what fear is whispering. Let's break down a few key skills and capabilities to cultivate when you're grounding yourself in your own conditions for success. Number one, the ability to tap into your own competence. Remind yourself what you've already overcome. Reflect on what's worked before, because evidence of your capability builds confidence. Number 2, the courage to face your growth edges. Notice where you've avoided discomfort or delayed decisions. Growth happens at the edge of awareness. Number 3, the willingness to map out what you don't yet know. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to know what questions to ask next. Number 4, creating safe spaces for imperfection. Give yourself permission for things to be messy while you learn. Progress over perfection, always. And number 5, seeking feedback and support. No one succeeds in isolation. Most self-led leaders know when to reach out and build their circle of strength. Each of these skills strengthens your ability to self-correct, adapt, and move forward, and that's the real foundation for sustainable success. I want to touch on something that often gets overlooked in this conversation around leadership and success, and that's the power of seasons. Understand we live in cycles. There are seasons for expansion, for rest, for building, and for recalibration. Yet so many of us have been conditioned by hustle culture to believe that we have to operate at full capacity at all time. That's just not true. One of the most important forms of self-leadership is honoring where you are in your season, whether that's full bloom or a quiet renewal. Even at 1% improvement, what the Japanese called Kaizen leads to a 365% growth over a year. Tiny, consistent actions compound. So be patient with your process and be faithful to your season. And as you listen today, I invite you to redefine what success means for you, not based on anyone else's metrics, but based on what truly matters right now. Your conditions for success might include rest. They might include saying no. They might include joy, creativity, or a deeper connection. And that is leadership. True leadership starts with how you lead yourself, how you honor your energy, your vision, your truth, and how you create the environment that allows you to thrive. Because when you're grounded, confident, and self-led, everything around you begins to align. So, as you move through your week, ask yourself, what conditions do I need to create for my own success right now? Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. That is where your power is. Thank you for spending your time with me today on the Radiant Edge podcast. I hope this conversation reminds you that success isn't something out there. It's something you create from within, moment by moment, decision by decision. Until next time, stay grounded, stay radiant, and keep leading yourself forward.